It is so great to see you back here. You went away, but you never were away.
Right.
Our hearts were together. We were all rooting for Wes. He's going to be a head coach one day. He's going to be a head coach one day. And little did we know it'd be here.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, are you enjoying just this day?
I think it's hard to process because there's so much that goes into it. I think there'll be a moment tonight, where, I'm going to lay there with eyes wide, unable to sleep, and kind of just look back and, wow, this is an incredible moment. Right now, it's just the rat race that is the media day, so to speak. But, I think it'll hit me at some point where it really sinks in that, A, you're one of 30 in the world, and B, it's here at home.
You're here because you paid your dues. But you're with the franchise that your father basically made his life work in so many ways. How do you put that in perspective?
Yeah, I felt like it would happen, that I would have an opportunity to be a head coach in this league. Never in my wildest dreams that I thought it would be here. It's just one of those things that, whether it was destiny, who knows? But I'm certainly glad it was, because it's that much more special.
When you look at his career, not just the time he was, certainly when he was in D.C., but he worked with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson when they were young, with Vucevic, Tobias Harris, Oladipo when he was in Orlando, and certainly you look at the MVP season that Jokic had, and Jokic was begging him not to leave Denver. All the different players that he touched there, and certainly it's a collaborative group, but when players call you to tell you about, you should hire this guy, unsolicited, that's pretty impressive to me.
I've never met a bad coach in the NBA because it's hard work to be an assistant. Every team has the plays they work. It's a competitive league, an amazingly competitive league. So is it the relationships that you're able to build with the players? And that's, I imagine, the most special, but also can be, there's no playbook for that.
No, it isn't. And there's no universal trigger. There's no button that you can push, and it works for every individual. So I think that's where those are individual relationships, finding ways to reach a guy, to find that commonality, get the buy-in that you need to have success on the floor. X's and O's, I think, these guys have played for years. It's what they do. That part's easy. Managing the people is what's probably most difficult.
I love the experience that Wes had at winning organizations, especially the work that he had done in Denver. And when you drill down on the process that Tommy and his staff ran, it was very, very comprehensive, but it was also trying to get to what do we have today, what do we need to improve, and what will we do differently, and how are you moving from an assistant coach to a head coach position uniquely able to help us to get better.
So you come into a team where Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal are your anchors. Have you had conversations with them, or just your thoughts on that? Because those are two strong anchors.
Yeah, no, I thought I had great conversations with both guys. And the best part about it was, we were able to challenge each other. And I think we're in alignment with vision. I think they understand what's necessary for us to take the next step. So I think right then and there's buy-in. So now you just got to figure out, all right, well, now where do we go from here? And I think it starts, sooner than later, because this process is kind of played out into late July. We're not going to have a whole lot of time between now and September 27th, media day, and the preseason.
As you look at this team, everybody talks defense. There's not a magic answer. There's not a magic pill.
No, it isn't.
So how do you go about with that culture? Some of your ideas on that?
Well, I think part of it is it's not necessarily what you're doing, and sometimes it's who's doing it. And I think we get caught up as coaches at looking at just all the external metrics of, well, this should work. This is working for these top 4 or 5 defensive teams. But how does that now equate to your roster? So doing what's right doesn't mean it's right for your group. And I think that's something, myself, staff collectively, our analytics department, kind of looking at, and then working backwards. I think there's also input from your players, because they're the ones that have to do it, and what do they like? How do they feel? All of that kind of comes into how you come up with your overall schemes.
Well, welcome home, and at least give me one dinner. I'll go out with you one time.
As many as you like, Dave. Thank you.